a figure falls from the top straight onto the marble floor and dies. They're holding a pouch, and from that pouch rolls out a glowing pearl that seems magical. You have essentially a broken statue of a woman that you know is a real woman in there, petrified, missing one whole leg, smashed up hand as well, like that is shattered, the hand.
Yeah, but given that they were using sledgehammers to break her apart, I don't think we're putting her limbs back together. I honestly think our best solution, if we're going to save her, is to attempt to remove the petrification, and if it works, stabilize.
Yeah, that would be my best bet.
Alright, well, I'll give it a shot then.
Okay, so you're casting Remove Curse. You've got that prepared, yeah?
I have almost prepared.
Oh, of course. Yeah. You're warlocks. Yeah. Magic. Yeah. Okay, so you cast Remove Curse. Describe to me what it looks like when you're removing a curse from someone.
Just a bunch of golden sparkles.
Golden sparkles going all over? Yeah, okay. When the golden sparkles dissipate, unfortunately there is still a statue there. It was worth a go. As Eao said, you know, if this had been caused by a curse, that would have worked. Unfortunately, not in this case.
So, unless anyone else has an idea to remove petrification.
Not at the moment.
I reluctantly switched to alchemy.
Yep, you've switched to alchemy over your... Oh, I see. Hang on a sec. So there's a sound in your head and it sounds a little...
Everyone can spend 2 hours of the long rest looking for pieces of the lady.
Okay, yeah, you can do that. Roll me perception. Disadvantage. And, yeah, so grounded in your head, you hear this. I knew you'd be back, pretty. How can I help?
Is there a way to undo petrification through alchemy?
I tell you what, dearie. You remember what I asked of you, yes? You remember?
That's not really an option.
How about a trade? I love a trade. You do what I asked, and I'll tell you what you need to know.
Well, we're kind of in the middle of a dungeon right now, so... Well, a library, so that's not really a practical thing.
Well, bad luck, dearie. Now, you do still have the lingering proficiency that the hag gives you, so you can still make a check. Would be a disadvantage, but the hag isn't going to tell you straight off. The hag knows, but the hag isn't going to tell you without a trade. But you're more than welcome to use the lingering knowledge to see if you can work it out yourself.
Ooh.
Okay.
2 hours of 8.
Yes.
What am I rolling? Is that just proficiency with alchemy tools?
Yeah, alchemy tools proficiency, it would be your... We'll go intelligence with your alchemy tools proficiency.
Oh no.
Not a good sign?
Yeah, that's 6.
6. I'm afraid no. You're stumped. At the moment, maybe you should take the deal.
Wait, this is a long rest, so can I switch to Arcana and try that instead?
Yeah, I'd allow that. You got 8 hours and you can switch every short rest, so... Oh, you're not going to do 8 separate checks, I will say that, but I'll allow you to switch to Arcana and have a go. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to get any rest in.
I mean, if she's checking for Arcana, could I help with that?
Well, the two, you putting your heads together and sort of thinking it through. Yeah, I'd allow that. That's fine. You can discuss it and sort of bounce ideas off of each other. I'd allow help with that, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Right,
just to get rid of that disadvantage.
Right, Catgirl Collective, don't fail me. That is 19.
19. Okay. So the best way to remove petrification, you know, is greater restoration. However, there are other ways. One common sort of famous remedy is to create a potion using essentially the blood of a Medusa or a Gorgon. Sort of hair of the dog that bit you in a way. So you can create a potion using that, and you can then pour it into the mouth of the statue, provided it's still got a mouth, and it will undo the petrification.
Okay, idea. Does anyone here know polymorph?
Not this level, no.
I don't know what level polymorph is.
I feel like if either of them knew polymorph, there'd be a lot more bullshit happening in combat by now.
Yeah, probably.
Had to try. So I don't think there's any... What?
It's not far off being able to learn polymorph.
Wait.
Yeah,
so
I don't think there's
um,
anything we can do at this time for it. So
Wait.
Did I find the pieces?
Hold on, grounded.
So does knowing what the cure for petrification can be, can I is there any chance I sort of put two and two together and remember one of those things is actually cow-shaped, or wouldn't I know that?
No, you wouldn't know that. Realistically, you would not have encountered one of them.
And not the
But yeah,
either? Like in that context?
Don't think so. They're quite rare creatures.
yeah, I don't think we can do anything about this then.
Okay, then I will repeat my question. Did I find the pieces?
Yes, you did find the pieces.
Okay.
So you've created a small pile next to the statue. And yeah, you found, as best you can tell by like slotting them against, you found all of the bits because you spent a long time searching. And while there were a lot of bits that looked like body parts, you did eventually find ones that just sort of slot in. You're very patient, which helps with that. And it took you a while, but yeah, you've got, as far as you know, all the bits.
So now we just need to wait to stick it all together.
Mm-hmm. So, with a long rest, restore all of your hit points, your features, and half of your hit die that you've spent. And yeah, nothing happens in the rest break because you lot set traps and barricaded yourself in. Which is a real shame. I really did want to bring one of those wandering monsters out against you. But you fought it through, and I'm proud of you all. Even if it does mean I don't get to bring out the snail flail. The flail snail, as it's called.
It was the flail snail that turned into a shield,
Really iconic
right?
theme
A
on it.
flail snail shield?
Yeah.
It's a good shield.
Reflective spell shield, if I recall.
Yeah.
Okay,
Flail snail spell shield.
8 hours have passed, obviously as best you can tell because there's no sun. But enough time, you feel well rested, and you're ready to go. Where are we going?
Do we still have the points of exhaustion?
Yes.
Can I do an Arcanist check to see if I can work out why?
Yeah, okay. Roll me Arcana. One thing to note, by the way, that while you're down here, you can't forage for materials, so you will be eating rations if you want to avoid extra points of exhaustion.
Oh no.
Luckily, I have some artisanal cheeses I'm enjoying.
Yeah, that's true. You got some nice cheese.
I need to double check whether I've got rations. Yeah, I've still got some.
Critical
Is
one.
there anything in the food pile here that we can use to
Oh, yeah, there's
add
tons.
to our rations?
Yeah, absolutely. You can probably out of there, because it's full of apples and stuff like that. It's not stuff that will last a very long time, but you can probably get probably about 4 or 5 meals in your packs and pouches, or in your barrel in your case. Yeah, probably 4 or 5 days worth of food.
Water.
But after, oh, sorry.
Oh.
Well, you can bob for apples if you want at some point. Just stick the apples in and go for it later. But yeah, there's plenty of food. There's probably, it'll have gone off in 5 days though. So that after 5 days, well, go moldy essentially, because it's just fresh apples. There's no jerky or anything like that.
Okay, I'm gonna feed myself from there for the now at least.
Okay.
I actually want to take a look at the thing in this room up here.
Ah, the prism. Okay.
No, I'll walk in eating an apple.
You walk in eating an apple. Okay, let me get you the info for the prism. Okay, so in here you can see a rainbow prism. It's 10 feet tall, and it's sort of shedding all sorts of colors, every color of the rainbow basically on the floor and walls around you. It appears to be making its own light as well. Did you say you were inspecting it, Eao?
Yes.
Okay, so as you look in closer, you notice that there's these murals on the wall behind. They're all carved into the stone on the walls, the 4 walls around you. As you look through the prism, though, the mural changes. So, for example, on the wall opposite where you are, so as you're looking through, there is when you're not looking through the prism, there's a family of 2 adults, 3 children and a pet dog, and the children are splashing in puddles while the adults are trying to hunt game with the dog. When you look through the prism, though, you can see the adults are tending crops in a field while the children are playing with the dog next to a river.
In that case, I want to look at the rest of the murals, both regular and through the prism.
Okay. So as you look through the, let's say you're looking at the wall opposite you at the moment. So what you're seeing there is a gnarled apple tree protruding from a rocky outcrop at the edge of a cliff. Where you're seeing it at the moment, you're seeing, when you're just looking at it, normally you see the leaves are bushy and there's a green apple forming on one bough. And when you look through the prism, you see that the apple is midway falling off of the tree, off of the cliff. And then the south wall, you see a ship. It is essentially being carved and being built in a lumber yard. Essentially, people are felling trees, and the start of the sort of ribs of the ship are being put together. When you look through the prism, you see a heavy crane is starting to position the mast on top of the ship. And from that side, you can see an army of 100 men and horses. The army are training and running exercises. And interestingly, when you look through the prism, it's still the same.
I walk in front of one of the images, and Eao's looking at me through the prism. Does that look any different?
From where Eao is currently, you look the same.
Can I turn the prism?
Yes, it does move. It does move when you try and turn it.
I want to turn it and then look through it at the unchanging painting.
Okay, so as you turn it, we're going to say you're turning it clockwise because that makes this easier. You rotate it. It's got four faces. You rotate it. The first rotation, you can see that the army have now begun to mount their horses, and their pennants are flickering in the wind. They're not moving, but it's got that sort of implied motion. You rotate it. You turn it one more time, and crows are picking at the corpses on an empty field. Well, I mean, it's full of corpses, but otherwise empty.
Did grounded change at all during that?
Grounded did not change, no.
Okay.
So for ease of describing this, I'm going to say that based on how it looks when you're looking at the family of the adults and children, you can describe each of these faces by a season. And the first one you were looking through at the army was spring, then you saw summer, autumn, and winter. It doesn't necessarily apply to the other images, but it's the easiest way to describe it.
Okay, then I'm going to, from basically the same pattern, going to when the prism matches the thing, and then go clockwise for each of the three remaining murals.
Okay, so position you're at, you're looking at the family. So spring, children are splashing in puddles while the adults try to hunt game with the dog. Summer, the adults are tending crops in a field while the children play with the dog not far away. Autumn, the adults are harvesting food and the children are studying in their house through candlelight. And finally, in winter, the children and the dog are playing in snow while the adults are flying a kite. You turn around again and you are looking at, this is the ship. So in spring, you can see the trees being felled to carve the long ribs of the ship. You rotate to summer and you see the heavy crane that you saw before positioning the mast. You rotate it again to autumn. The ship is at sea now, cresting high waves with tiny figures waving from the decks. And you rotate to winter and the ship is crashed against the rocks and sirens look on with menacing smiles. And finally, you move over to the tree. In spring, the leaves are bushy and green, and an apple forms on one bough. You rotate to summer, the apple has turned red. You rotate to autumn, the apple is mid-fall from the tree off of the cliff as you previously saw, and you rotate to winter and the tree is dead, hanging off of the edge of the cliff, and an archway has appeared in its trunk.
If I look up at the portrait, not through the thing, is the archway still there?
Yes.
I want to approach the mural and put my hand up to where the archway would be.
Okay, you put your hand up to where the archway is.
Ooh.
It's about 5 feet wide. About 10 feet tall.
I'm a peek through it.
Okay, you stick your head through and you see a narrow, 10 foot high, 5 foot wide room. So 5 foot by 5 foot horizontally and 10 feet vertically. And in there is a small bag. It's made of leather. It's I say bag. It's closer to a backpack. It's not tiny, but it's sitting in one corner, just stashed there.
I'm gonna grab it.
Okay, you grab it. You have a bag. Inside there's a brace of potions. There's 4 potions in there, each one different. The first one has a yellow fluid streaked with black, and it swirls on its own. Even when you're just holding it still, it's constantly rotating. The second one, it contains a syrupy liquid that looks a bit like liquefied iron. The third one is an amber liquid. Suspended in it are a scorpion's tail, an adder's fang, and a dead spider. Inside, along with it, is a tiny heart that against all reason is still beating. And finally, the last one, there is a potion with a crimson liquid which regularly pulses with a dull light, calling to mind a heartbeat.
I'm going to ask Grounded to try to identify these. You're the alchemist here, so.
Oh, yeah. Although, I mean, my floating proficiency is currently in Arcana, but I don't want to disappoint her, so I take a look.
You have no proficiency in alchemist tools at the moment. So you can give it a go, but you won't be adding any proficiency bonus. You have the tools, though. You won't add any proficiency bonus, and you will be doing this at disadvantage, of course. But yeah, make me an Arcana check. No, sorry, an intelligence alchemist tools check, so no proficiency. Raw intelligence check for you. And I'll let you know if you identify any of them.
Oh, that's a perfectly good 20 dead. 17.
17. You are reasonably certain that the first one is a potion of speed, the effects of which are as if you have been struck by the haste spell for 1 minute with no concentration required.
The potion of speed, I'm going to hand over to Lyra.
Oh, hello, thank you.
Literally methamphetamine.
I think someone just told me go like,
Gotta go fast.
Lyros is going to get the zoomies. Yeah, that was a 5, sorry.
5, you've no idea for the liquefied iron one.
I don't think that potion is going to last for long.
It lasts for 1 minute.
I mean, in my inventory.
I see.
That's 10.
A 10, no idea on the one with amber liquid and scorpion adder, dead spider, and a tiny heart.
Well, maybe you could just drink it to be sure.
Yeah, you can.
Looks safe.
That is a perfectly good way of identifying potions. You can just drink it, and I will tell you what it is the moment you drink it.
You don't even have to consume the entire potion.
Usually not, but I actually do say you do. I think it just breaks too many rules otherwise to allow tasting of potions. Because you're like, well...
Oh, fair enough.
That's an 11.
An 11, unfortunately, not enough to determine what the crimson liquid that pulses with a dull light, calling to mind a heartbeat. But you've identified one of them, and you may be able to identify the others later.
Actually, specifically the crimson potion. Can I give that one a try?
You can
Arcana
give
check?
that a go with Arcana. I assume you're not using alchemist tools to try and determine what it is.
I got nothing for alchemist tools.
Yeah, so use Arcana, please. With this.
I'll help with Arcana.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, I already rolled, so.
Yeah, okay, what was it?
That is a total of 19.
19. Okay, so that was the red one, the pulses with dull light. That is enough to tell you that that is a potion of vitality. When you drink this potion, it removes any exhaustion you're suffering, cures any disease or poison affecting you. For the next 24 hours, you regain the maximum number of hit points for any hit die you spend.
Not bad.
It is not bad, especially since you don't seem to be able to shake a level of exhaustion at the moment.
I do have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Would I be able, because you said it removes any disease as well, would this theoretically also work with petrification?
No. Petrification is not a disease, it's a stasis effect, unfortunately. And it's not caused by poison either, in this case. Spoilers.
Well, then, in that case, I'm probably going to pocket that. And I'm going to let Rosette and Grounded choose in between those last two potions, which ones they want.
Okay.
So that's the liquid iron and the poison.
Yeah.
One.
One is metal as fuck, and one is metal as fuck. So you've got one that is liquefied iron, and one that has a dead spider, a scorpion's tail, and an adder's fang in it, and a heart that is against all reason still beating.
Can I make an Arcana check as well to take a look at those?
Go for it. Roll them at disadvantage.
Iron checks for all.
Yep. That's 7 on the first one.
No luck on that one.
8. And
Disadvantage.
it's 6 on the second.
No luck, unfortunately. You're stumped by him. But yeah.
I'll just take Lux with the iron potion.
Yep, you're going to take the iron potion. Okay. And that means the remainder is the scorpion's tail, adder's fang, dead spider, and tiny heart that against all reason is still beating.
Okay. Grounded being grounded, can I just try and taste a bit of the potion to see if I can guess it that way?
You can try to taste it, but I will tell you, you will not determine what it is unless you drink it.
Oh, never mind then.
So, do you want to see the god instrument?
Sorry, what was that?
I asked if you all want to go and see.
Yes, I was going to say probably.
Or do we want to go for the bosses first?
I say we should look in here first.
Okay.
I assume the door is not locked since
Nope, it's not locked.
Just passed through.
Yep. Well, 8 hours ago they passed through, but yeah.
Mm.
And you open the door, and inside it's an empty corridor all the way along. You can see 2 dead cultists on the ground 20 feet ahead of you, blood pooling out from underneath them.
Can I
Yeah,
tell
that
what
checks
might
out.
kill them from there?
Bludgeoning damage of some sort. I will say the light level, there's no light here, so anyone with dark vision is seeing as in dim light, so perception checks are at disadvantage, which they already were anyway. But now are definitely a disadvantage, as is your passive perception to not hit traps.
I take out my lantern.
Okay, you take out your lantern, you cast some light in there. So yeah, you can see the corpses a little better now, and you can definitely see the blood better, because now you can see in colour, because you can't see in colour when you're using dark vision. And yep, it's definitely blood, and they are definitely dead. And it looks like, yeah, some heavy amounts of bludgeoning damage.
I want to sneak up a bit in the hallway so I can look around the corner.
Okay. Are any of the rest... What are the rest of you doing while you're sneaking ahead, Eao? What's the rest of you doing?
I'm going to
Follow at a distance.
You'll follow at a distance?
I'll hang back and just take a thorough look for traps.
Okay.
Yes. I'll stick with Glarus for now.
You're going to stick there? Okay, where can you position yourselves where you are? So I know which areas you're searching for traps. Okay, and Glarus, are you still in the Prism room? Or are you heading in as well?
I was intending to stick here because I did not realize that Glarus was going.
You can stick there if
into
you
the
want.
room.
It's up to you.
Yeah. Basically,
Yeah.
I'm going to try and walk along the wall just in case that.
Okay, roll initiative, please. Door slams behind you. So, well, in front of you, Glarus. And you hear a scream. And from above you, because it turns out the ceilings here are about 100 feet high, a figure falls from the top straight onto the marble floor and dies. They're holding a pouch, and from that pouch rolls out a glowing pearl that seems magical. I'm going to reposition some of you because some of this would have happened as you were on your way in. But I'll position you like that. I'm going to put an acolyte down for where they are, because the acolyte is always useful and is also alphabetically up at the top. So they've fallen down to there. They've died immediately. And I'm going to say, actually, I'll put you there, Eao. Eao, around the corner, you can see that... Let me just... color. This much floor is gone, as it's literally just disintegrated. Okay, so, yes, initiative rolls. Who's got higher than a 20? 15. Yeah, asking about 20 really was wishful thinking on my part. 10. Ruz and Eao. Okay, who's got the highest?
I have a 13.
Ruz, what do you got?
I have a 13.
Okay, who's got the highest
Eao,
depth?
go
Eao will go first. Okay, there's going to be Eao, then Ruz. Okay, who's got higher than a 5? Grounded. Okay, and Glarus, you're last then.
5.
You got 5
got
exactly.
6.
Okay.
Again.
All right, so top of the round, it's the room. And another 10-foot floor is
Zone?
disappearing. Okay, we go to Eao.
You said there was a pouch by the
Yes.
acolyte?
There's a pouch by the dead body there, and from it, when it landed on the ground, a glowing pearl rolled out. The pouch doesn't look empty either.
I have 40 feet of movement. What am I thinking about? I'm going to go up, I'm going to grab them, and I'm going to try to make my way back to the door.
Okay. Oh, sorry, the pouch is empty. No. As you approach and you grab the pouch, which is sort of semi-attached to the armor, your hand brushes against their armor and you feel a tingle. You know, like when you touch something electric? You take no damage, but you have realized that armor is probably magic. If it means anything to you, it very much looks like studded leather. And but you have the pouch and you have the pearl, which is glowing, and that's definitely magical the moment you touch it. The moment you touch it, you know that's magic. You don't know what it does, but you know it's magic, definitely. So maybe this is what
I gotta try.
the magic items from your loot.
No. I'm grabbing his body and I'm pulling back.
Okay, you grab the
pulling
body
it
and you're
back.
pulling back. Okay, you're going to move at half speed. This isn't difficult terrain, obviously. This is grappling, essentially. Obviously, you know, it's not a contested roll grapple, but you're still dragging them along. But yeah, so you'll use half your speed to move. So yeah, go for it.
Yeah, if I dash, that means I could bring it all the way over here.
Okay, I'll move it
If I
forward.
use my dash as well.
That's perfectly fine. You're perfectly allowed to. You're really hurrying across. And you bring the the acolyte. It's actually it's interesting. It looks a bit like, now that you're closer, it looks a bit like a sort of like a gnoll, but it's not a gnoll. In closer, it has a dog sort of face, but it's closer to like a fox than it is to a hyena. And you don't really recognize this race, but definitely is wearing armor. It's humanoid, and it looks a bit like a dog person.
Yeah, and I believe that's my turn.
Okay, yep, that's your go. Okay, we go over to Ruzad. Ruzad, you're right next to a dead dog person and Eao, and the door behind you is closed.
Sorry, as I was dragging the body, I did want to mention that the floor is disappearing.
Yes, because you lot wouldn't actually have noticed it because it was around the corner.
Anyway, going back to my question, what is the door made of?
The door looks like it's made of wood. I mean, it looks pretty heavy and thick, but it looks like wood.
Warhammer time.
All right, you're going to whack it with a warhammer? Okay. Give me a strength check, and you can neutralize the... It's designed for breaking things.
Using a tool.
Yeah, you're using a tool. It's similar to using a crowbar and that sort of thing.
Not really going to help anyway. 8.
8. No, that's not going to break it down, I'm afraid. It smacks against it and just sort of bounds off. And it sort of jars your elbow a little bit. You're fine. No damage done. But yeah, it's heavier than you were expecting. Anything else, or should we go to grounded?
Use the extra remind me to move away, and I'm going to give grounded a inspiration die.
Okay, grounded, you have a D8 bardic inspiration die. One day I'll remember what size. Oh, I've remembered it. This is the first time. So you got a D8 of inspiration. Ruz, what are you saying to grant inspiration to grounded? You know what? You're usually a wordsmith, although you could be doing the bagpipes, of course.
Oh no, I was just going to say, get your ass moving or we're dead.
Inspiring through fear. Love it.
Honestly, I like the idea that if Ruzad's stressed, he just starts playing bagpipes.
No, I'm still on the wall at the time. I'm just saying, what do you mean we?
I mean, that would be great if Ruz even had his bagpipes on him anymore.
It's true.
Okay, so did Eao grab all of the loot?
Yeah, Eao appears to have grabbed all of the loot, literally by grabbing the person and the bag and the pearl.
I think I've got 2 options here. First option is I could try and break down the door.
Mm-hmm.
Second option is I don't know, maybe try walking down the pit to see if that switches it off.
You can try that.
Does the wall expand below the pit?
You can't really see from where you are.
Okay, how much movement do I have? If I dash, that's 6 total, so...
6 seconds.
Alright, okay. So I'm going to dash over here just to get a closer look at the pit.
Okay, sounds good.
Can I... okay, so can I see if there's wall going down the pit?
There are walls on... So there's walls where there are walls attached, to the room. So when the pit opens up, the walls on either side of you go all the way down. Sort of on your side, so on the bit that's falling away, you can't see if there's a wall there. But there's definitely the 2 sides, 2 horizontal... the 2 vertical walls on either side of you. The ones on the rest of the room do descend further down into the pit. They don't just disappear.
Is that a door on the other side?
Yes, does appear that there's a door on the other side.
Can I see it?
Oh yeah, absolutely, you can see it. Yeah, you can see a crack of orange light from underneath as well. There's also a door down on the south here, which I've covered over with paint, but there's one there as well that you'd be able to see as well.
On the second thoughts, I should probably help everyone else escape first, so I'm going to run back here and I'll relay everything I just saw to everyone, and then I'm going to take my crowbar out and try and pry the door open and use the bardic inspiration dots on that.
Okay, go for it. So you dash as a bonus action, you're back over here to try and break down the door. All right.
Okay, so I have advantage, so that nullifies the disadvantage.
That does, yep. So it'll be a standard roll, but add your add the bardic inspiration roll to it as well.
So 28.
And it will be raw strength, so do not add your athletics proficiency.
Okay, that is 14.
14 won't do it, I'm afraid. It's not, but it's a really heavy door. It's possibly magically sealed. You don't know, but certainly not budging all the way. It does shake a little bit though when you hit it. And Leros, you hear a loud thud from the other side. You don't know what's happening in there, but the door's suddenly shut. Now you're hearing a thud against it. So the panic is rising for you, and it is now your go.
Okay, trying the door is a free action, right?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, I'll try the door.
No opening, unfortunately. Would have been nice.
I yell in, clear! And I step back and I shatter the wall.
Yes! Alright, so Shatter is a sonic attack. We've already seen it from you before. It is before today. Well, not before today. We've seen it today. And it involves Golden Spark. Read me the rules for how it destroys things. If I recall, it does a certain amount of damage to walls, and it does extra against walls, like double, I believe.
Ooh, I hope this card has enough information. A sudden, loud, ringing noise, painful intense, erupts from a point of your choice within range. Each creature in a 10-foot radius sphere extended on that point must make a Constitution saving throw, and the creature takes 3d8 thunder damage on a failed save, or half as much damage as a successful one. A creature made of inorganic materials such as stone, crystal, or metal has disadvantage on this saving throw. A non-magical object that isn't being worn or carried also takes the damage if it is in the spell's area, which a wall is, neither worn or carried.
Okay, cool. I'm just looking up the hit points. Okay. All right.
So that is 17 points of damage.
17 points of damage. It fucks it on the saving throw. It would be odd if it somehow succeeded. Yeah, no, you auto hit it, basically. And 17 points of damage rings out against that wall, and a long crack appears down the side of it. It's not broken, but it is not looking great. It looks like possibly with some concerted effort you could break through that. Ruzad, you're on the other side of that wall, and you can see the crack forming as well.
They should make a saving throw, because I didn't know they were there.
I would say that the walls probably blocked all of this and absorbed the force.
Okay.
In this case, they have essentially got full cover from it, I would say, in this case.
I mean, had the wall exploded,
Yeah,
I would agree
if
with
the
you.
wall had entirely decimated, I would absolutely have taken some saving throws there from the rest of you, but I think the walls absorbed all that force. And been damaged heavily in the process. So, yeah, there's now a crack. We go to the top of the round, and the trap widens. And it is now all the way up to the corner and round, and you can see it getting pretty close to you now.
Well, since they're already doing things with the door, I don't think I have enough time to take off his armor. I believe light armor takes a full minute to take off.
Believe so, yeah. Unless it's
So while they're
cast
dealing,
off
yeah. So while they're dealing with that, with the door, because I believe in them, I'm searching this guy's pocket.
Okay, sure. Make me a perception check, please, with disadvantage.
With disadvantage, that is an 11.
Okay, you find a set of thieves' tools. You find 2 potions of healing as well. No gold or anything.
Hey.
Interestingly, they don't seem to be interested in gold. Odd. Okay, if that's your full move, we go to Ruzad.
I'm going to take a swing at the wall where the crack is.
Go for it, yeah. Roll strength, please. Actually, roll me an attack roll, because it's already taken damage. We'll do it based on damage now.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. In which case, that is a...
Yeah, roll me an attack roll, because if you crit, we'll do critical damage, but it's a guaranteed hit.
Oh,
I mean,
okay,
imagine
yeah.
missing a wall.
Fair enough.
It can happen.
I mean,
It
yeah.
could happen.
It could happen, but I doubt it, somehow.
Just
That's
wonder
what
if that's
Master Wall.
Okay, so it's not a crit. It's
Not-
13.
Not a crit. Well, you still hit. Yeah, roll damage.
Okay, that is 10.
10 points of damage. Okay, that crack is widening now, and you can see Glarus through the crack. It's not wide enough to get through there yet, not even to squeeze through, but it is. You can now see light through it. Okay, over to Grounded.
Well, I think between them, Leoros and Reese can probably sort that wall out, so I'm going to try something else. I'm going to take a dash over here.
Okay.
I'm going to use my move action to not my movement, my standard action to take one of the pistons from my climbing kit and hammer that into the wall. And then I'm going to try walking down the edge of the wall.
Okay. Yeah, you start walking down the edge and you start heading into pitch blackness. Now, of course, you've got dark vision, so you're seeing this as dim light. But what you essentially see is that as you head down, the darkness comes almost immediately, almost like it's magical, but it's not like blocking your vision like magical darkness. But it's weirdly quick how quickly it gets dark. And then as you walk down, you feel a strange wave wash over you, and suddenly you can see the ground, and you can see the crack of light coming from the wall that Ruzad and Glarus have broken open, and you are now 100 feet above them.
what's happened to my rope?
Still attached.
Okay, can I walk back up?
Yep.
I suppose. How far did I walk down?
You walk down about 20 feet.
Oh, you know what? I untie the rope and walk the rest. Can I just start walking the rest of the way down? Or like sort of controlled falling with my boots?
You can walk down, sure. You can run or sprint down. You can't really do much of a controlled fall. That would require feather fall or something like that. But yeah, you can absolutely just start heading down again. How long's your rope?
Okay. The rope's only 30 feet. That's why I thought I'd just untie it.
Fair enough. So that's sort of left dangling both below and above you. And yeah, you start heading down. Yeah, you can continue your movement down. So you started off 100 above, so just count off the amount of remaining movement, and that's how high up you are.
Okay, it took me 30. Okay, that's going to be another 30 of movement down, so a total of
So you're 70 up,
70.
yeah. Okay. All right, with that done, we go to Glarus. Glarus, the crack is widening.
All
What's
right,
the plan?
I'm gonna help it along with the glaive.
With the glaive, all right, so you're working it into the gap and sort of levering it out. Yeah, sure. Give me an attack roll.
I'm not able to curse the wall, I don't think.
No, not usually, no. I mean, maybe someday you'll find a wall you can curse, but that'd probably be quite worrying for you. The icon of sin or something.
Yeah.
I mean, you can curse at the wall, so...
Well, that's true. You can always just
No
swear at it.
crits, unfortunately.
No crit. Okay, roll damage.
So that is what should we call it? A 4 and a 13, so 17 total.
Okay, so you lever away at it again and you sort of rip off bits more masonry. There is now a gap here that you reckon a single person could squeeze through. They might have to take off like any large equipment first and push it through before they go through. But they can definitely squeeze through that gap now. And okay, over to the top, and it is the trap is widening. Eao, you held on to the thief at the moment.
Yes.
Okay, it suddenly drops. Can you roll me a strength saving throw, please? This would not be a disadvantage. Saving throws aren't.
Okay, yeah, saving throws. That is a 16.
16's enough. So you're still grabbing on it, and it's like dangling. The dead thief is dangling in the air, just below you, and you're on the absolute edge there. Luckily, there is a gap that has opened up, but it's going to be a tight squeeze to get both you and the thief through. But it might be possible. You might be able to manage that. Yeah, what would you like to do?
Honestly, Eo's a very she's a very small person overall.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to try to do it.
Okay.
To pull us both through.
All right, go for it. So you pull yourselves over, and to squeeze through, it costs twice your movement. To drag through someone else, it's gonna be even more.
It's going to be 4 times.
It's going to be 4 times your movement. So to get over there, it's going to cost you 20 feet of movement to get to the wall, because you're dragging someone there and it's 10 feet normally. Then to get through, it's 5 foot times 4, which is another 20 feet. So that's 40 feet total of movement to get through.
Hey, that's my full movement.
Then you can absolutely do it. Squeeze through.
Yeah, the thing's not letting me put my character
Oh, is
through
it
the
not?
door. There you go.
Yeah, there you go. So you're through. You've got the thief through as well. I'll move the thief through. Okay, you're in.
Move along, make room.
Move along, make room. Yep. Okay, over to Ruzad.
And once I'm
yep.
through, I'm going to start taking off that armor.
You're going to start working on the armor. That's fair. Okay. Yeah, Ruzad.
Move along and let the rust through.
Yeah, I'm just gonna jump through the gap if I can.
Oh, okay. As I said, tight squeeze, so you can jump into the gap and bounce off, or you can try and climb through. Like we're talking, it's about like a foot wide. So jumping through the gap is not going to be easy. I mean, you can try and widen it first if you want with another attack, but
it would be really cool if he did just like burst through.
Just like, I mean, you could try it.
Oh yeah!
I'll allow that as a raw strength check to try and jump through the broken wall. It would be a disadvantage.
I'll just climb through.
It would be funny though. Just bounce off, fall to your death.
Be thankful I'm not going with what I was going to go with. The other two might not like that.
Fair enough.
Thunderbolt.
Straight at your feet. Okay, yeah, you squeeze through. That's perfectly fine.
Happen to be on the wall.
That's going to cost you 10 feet of movement to get through, so that's no problem, and you're through to the other side.
Yep.
Assuming you're not doing anything there, we go to grounded. I mean, if you are, just let me know.
No.
They keep moving I suppose there's not really any reason to. No, actually, I kind of want to walk. I suppose there's no floor there anyway. Anyway. Okay, I walk back up the 30 feet, recover my climbing kitten because those cost money, and I'll just run over to the gap. But I don't think I've quite got the movement to get through it.
Okay, are you still on the wall?
Yes.
Okay, it is Glarus's go.
I'll just look through the hole and go like, "Hey, you okay there?"
Yeah, this trap's.
Okay, I'll widen the
pretty
gap
cool.
just a little bit.
Like if you
Okay.
if you drop down through it, you end up at the roof and fall down that.
So
Yeah, if you're not climbing the wall, that sounds painful.
top of the round, it is the trap's go,
I
and
am
the floor.
going to break the wall a little bit more.
The floor is entirely back.
Is the door open?
Yeah, the door is open.
In that case,
You
I
know,
just did not.
with
make the wall.
with you being able to climb on the wall like that, you're probably the only. Assuming this trap activates again, you're probably the only one who could actually look through that door on the far end.
Yes. Guess I'm going to
I
do
wonder if
that.
it activates when you go to the door. Maybe the hole in the wall will keep us safe.
Oh wait, before I go, I ask Eao which door she wants me to check first, since she's in charge.
Oh, the far end one, because we could assume that this other one's going to lead back into this room.
Okay, so I walk up to the door at the far end of the room.
Okay.
Is there a keyhole or something I could look through?
Yes, there's a keyhole, I think. Yeah, there's definitely a keyhole that you can look through on this door. It's the kind of thing whoever built it would probably have wanted to lock. Just to be sure. Yeah. And roll me a perception check, please.
That's advantage.
Yes.
That's a 5.
Okay. When you're looking through the keyhole, you do see what's on the other side. But the thing that's on the other side sees you as well. And the reason it sees you is it really has a lot of eyes. Like, just a lot of eyes. Like, one big one in the center, and then all these stalks coming out of it, each with an eye on it.
Oh no.
It really does have a lot of eyes. It's seen you, and it lets out a screech. And we're going to stop there. Because there's no way we're doing this fight in the remaining time of the session. You've come face to face with something that you probably think is a beholder, but isn't necessarily. But yeah, it's certainly a powerful fiend. Oh yeah.
Since the corpse is at my feet, can I make a check based on my demonology knowledge? Since that is a fiend.
Oh yeah, you can make a check using your demonology knowledge. Yeah.
What about history?
We'd go history on this one, I think, because it really would have been a
And
history
I have
teacher.
advantage now, right?
You would have nullified the disadvantage from it.
Yeah. I was holding one dice and saying.
Oh
advantage.
yeah. Yeah, so yeah, you nullify the disadvantage.
Okay, that's a 19.
19. Okay. So I've forgotten the name of this fucker. So let me just reopen my notes because I had a different room open. Did I actually delete it? Go on and delete the name. Hang on a sec. Hang on. I've probably put it in this room.
I don't want to Google it myself.
Well, I mean, you know it. If you know the name, you have rolled high enough to know what it is. If you want to say it.
Fair enough.
Because
Okay,
I've
in
deleted
that
it.
case, I do have to Google it because I don't remember the name either.
I know, right? It is a fiend. It is a thief as well.
Arcanoloth.
Arcanoloth, that was it. Yes, it's an Arcanoloth. Thank you. So yeah, they are definitely fiends.
Googling Fox Fiend was
Oh, hey.
enough.
I know what those things are. Arcanos?
Yeah.
They're thieves, but they don't care about material positions. They care about knowledge.
Yes, which is why they're here. But they've also been stealing a lot of magical items because it turns out magical items very, very good for both gaining knowledge and also power.
So, how many Ferraris does it have?
Yeah, well, none.
At
It's
least 12.
dead. But yeah.
Fine.
No,
How
that's
many-
challenge rating, sorry.
So yeah, and it's going to be
Focus this on hell.
surprising no one. It's going to be grounded all alone against
And
against
you don't even know if you can walk into the corridor yet.
a formidable fiend. Yeah. Well, not actually a fiend. I should be clear. An Arcanoloth is a fiend for sure.
Mhm.
You didn't kill him, unfortunately, Leros. So you won't get the +1 on your weapon.
Yeah.
But you know, on the other hand, though, your patron's still pretty happy to see the corpse of a fiend. So you know, it's getting reared up. It's like, oh, bring me another one.
I'm gonna desecrate the corpse a little bit.
You can desecrate a
let it
corpse.
play
Yeah,
with the blood.
it's always nice to. Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna let the glaive drink of the blood while it's here.
All
It's
right.
still warm. I'm just gonna put it in the ribcage.
Okay.
The arm is already off, right?
Yeah, you go straight into the ribcage, and the glaive pierces the heart, and you can hear in your head this raw, excited anger. But it's anger. It's clearly at the Arcanoloff and at fiends in general, and you feel this energy surge up your arm, and the glaive starts to vibrate in your hand. Yeah, add +1 to your next attack roll. You've pleased your patron with this bloodshed, and we will go back to this fight, which is going to be a hell of a fight. We're going to come back to that next week.